Okay, so we will now continue writing our protocol for selecting all the posts, and this will be a second step where we will create a separate PHP file to load all the posts. Okay, we're going back to our development environment. I'm clicking right click on the main folder here, project folder, and I click new PHP file. Okay, new PHP file, and I'm gonna name it just posts. .php, or you can load it select posts if you want. Select posts. Okay, let it be select posts. Okay, select posts, and here we here we save it. Okay, this file sends request to the server for retrieving all the posts related to the certain user. Okay, very good. And what we will do here for these posts, we have here only 4 steps. It's a very easy protocol. And as you remember, the step number 1 is to receive post variables or information. Very good. So for that, we always write an if statement. If, then space, open and close round brackets, then open and close curly brackets. In the round brackets, we will write is set. Then in the round brackets again, we write $symbol underscore request, then square brackets, single quotation marks. First we wanna pass ID. Then we're coming out from one round bracket, but still in the second round bracket. We put double and, which means and, is set. Then we are going into again round brackets and we write $symbol request, then square brackets, single quotation marks, limit. Then we're coming out of the first round brackets and we put again and is set. Then we're going again into round brackets and we put $symbol underscore request, square brackets, single quotation marks, offset. Very good. So let me explain you one more time what we're doing here. I'm sure you became a proficient in this. So we're checking if ID is not set, if limit is not set, and offset is not set, then throw here an error message. We must put exclamation mark before every single is set. This means false if is not set, and if is not set, and if it is not set. Okay, so here we will return, then quotation marks, status will be 400, semicolon. Then we are returning square brackets and the single quotation marks, message equals to single quotation marks, missing required information, then semicolon. Then we want to echo it, echo, then JSON underscore encode return, then return. What we're doing here, if some of these values is not set, then show the status 400 and the message missing required information and throw it back to the user and do not execute the code further. Stop it here. Okay, so now we need to encode received variables or information. Good. So first I create a new variable which is ID, which will be HTML entities, and then we will access the ID which is passed to current file. We write $symbol underscore request, square brackets and single quotation marks ID, then we'll put semicolon at the end. Then we're doing the same for the limit. Limit equals to HTML entities. In the round brackets, we write $symbol underscore request, then square brackets, single quotation marks, and limit. Then we'll put semicolon at the end of the line. Then we're going to the offset. We'll create a new variable offset equals to HTML entities. Then $symbol request, square bracket, single quotation marks, offset, and the semicolon at the end of the line. Okay, step number 1 is done. We're moving to the step number 2, which is establish connection. Very good. Okay, here first of all want to include an file which is access.php because access.php is directly related for the direct interaction with the server and the hosting database, etc. Okay, here we write require, and then in the round brackets we write round brackets, then in quotation marks, we're going to the folder secure, then right slash access.php and semicolon at the end of the line. Okay, very good. And require. Then we are establishing require access class, new access, host will be localhost, user will be root. This is my default password, will be just blank password. Name will be name of the database, it's FB. Name of the database, it's here, FB. Okay, and semicolon at the end of the line. I want to assign it to the new variable, which is access. Access equals new and establish, build, construct the class. So then we want to access the function in access, which is connect. Okay, so the connection is established. We are now going to the next step, which is step number 3. Select posts from the server. And here we will access another function of the access class, access arrow, select posts, the protocol which we wrote in the previous step, in the previous video, and semicolon at the end. So this will execute select posts function, that is the function, and as you see the function returns some values. So let's assign the result of this execution to a certain variable, which will be, let's say, posts equals to the result we receive from the execution of this function. Okay, and now let's write an if statement. If round brackets and then curly brackets. In the round brackets we'll write posts. Then means if there are some posts, then we want to return in the square brackets and then the single quotation marks, posts equals to posts. Very good, and and don't forget semicolon at the end of the line. And what we will do is we will echo the result, the post which we have received, echo JSON underscore encode posts. No, not posts, return. Yeah. Okay, very good. And the final fourth step is stop connection or just disconnect. This is for the security reason. And we'll write here access arrow execute the function which is disconnect and semicolon at the end of the line. Very good. So this is quite short protocol and we are done with this, so we can directly test it now. To test the protocol, what we will do, we'll open a new window and we'll write localhost fb, then select posts.php. So missing required information, that is what got executed because we didn't pass ID limit offset. Okay, we put here question mark. After question mark, you know there is a body will be following. So first ID will be, let's say, 0, then and we write limit will be 100 and offset, which means skip, will be 0. I don't want to use 0 because I got no user having the ID 0. I have ID 1 and ID 22, and both of these users having at least one post. Okay, I'll write here 1. Here we go. The posts are retrieved successfully. So the ID of the post is 0. This ID of the post, user ID 1, text hello, another user's post, picture, there is no picture, they created. First name Michael Jordan, and there is no other, no cover for this user. Excellent. So then I will try to replace the ID with the 22 with this real user which I have, and this user is having 3 posts. Here we go. Very good. This is how we can retrieve posts. And we can try here, let's say limit 1, and we can try limit 2, and limit 3, etc. This is how we can play with this. And how many posts here? First name. It's showing, by the way, I believe it shows only one post. This is actually it must show us more posts. So it can be there is some minor error in this. Okay, let's try to go through this. Yeah, here we go. Here return we must put square brackets. So square brackets, it means always assign append. I would say the right word to use it will be append. Append every single row one by one by keeping the previous rows. Okay, if we refresh now, so now it shows us 3. Uh, let's say now it's 1 post, now it's 2 posts, and now 3 posts, and etc. Okay, how we can check how many posts? You can check, let's say, last name, so if 3 times, or you can search for the picture or for the text, which is 3 times. Okay, so this is how we are able to load this is how we are able to execute the protocol and retrieve the required information from the server. So that was really amazing, guys. So now we can move to the project and application. Well done, guys. Good job.